Along with Ms. Dalumpines, our topic that we will be discussing today all about the period of activism here in the Philippines from 1970 to 1972. So, for its historical background, according to Ponciano Pineda, youth activism in 1970 and 70 to 72 was due to domestic and worldwide causes. Activism is connected with the history of our Filipino youth. Because of the ills of society, the youth moved to seek reforms. Some continued to believe that the democratic government is stable and that it is only the people running the government who are at fault. Some believed that socialism or communism should replace democracy. Some armed groups were formed to bring down the democratic form of government. Many young people became activists to ask for change in the government. In the expression of this desire for change, keen were the writings of some youth who were fired with nationalism in order to emphasize the importance of their petitions. Many young activists were imprisoned in military camps together with rebel writers. As early as this period of history, we can say that many of those writers who were imprisoned were true nationalists and heroes of their time. Many books aptly recorded and embody these times, but many of these are not known to many, and many of these writers still have to be interviewed. We just leave to scholars and researchers the giving of credit where credit is. So, in the period of bloody placards, Pineda also said that this was the time when the youth once more proved that it is not the constant aviation that shapes our race and nationalism. There is a limit to one's patience. It may explode like a volcano of overstrained life. What avails like if one is coward who does not take a stand for himself and for the succeeding generations? So, in the literary revolution, the youth became completely rebellious during this period. This was proven not only in the bloody demonstrations and in the sidewalk expressions, but also in literature. Campus newspapers showed rebellious emotions. The once aristocratic writers developed awareness for society. They held pens and wrote on placards in red paints to the equivalent of the makibaka to dare, which means to dare. They attacked the ills of society and politics. Any establishment became the symbol of the ills that had to be changed. The frustrations of youth could be felt in churches and schools. Even the priests, teachers, and parents, as authorities who should be respected, became targets of the radical youth and were thought of as hindrances to the changes they sought. They sought. The literature of the activists reached a point where they stated but boldly what should be done to affect these changes. Some of those who rallied to this revolutionary form of literature were Rolando Tino, Rogelio Magajas, Efren Abweg, Rio Alma, and Clemente Bautista. The writing during the period of activism. The irreverence for the poor reached its peak during this period of the mass revolution. It was also during this period that Bomba films that discredit our ways as Filipinos started to come out. So, the next is the Palanca Awardees for Literature in English. Established in 1950, the Palanca Memorial Awards for Literature had been giving cash prizes for short stories, poetry, and one-act play writing as an incentive for Filipino writers. The prizes comes from La Tondena Incorporated, the firm founded by the late Carlos Palanca Sr. For the list of winners from 1950 to 1951 to 1650 to 1670 were recommended Alberto S. Florentino's 20 Years of Palanca Awards. So that is for my part. I will give in the to Miss Sharon Dalopinas. Thank you.